I think it's great that people are expecting me to be one of the leaders of the teams of the future, most likely. I fully would love to accept that role and just be the best player and leader that I could be, just to help this team become the best team we can possibly be.
Sean McVay's rise to the top is a mix of working your way up from the bottom and having luck and connections. His grandfather John was a head coach for the New York Giants and served as the GM for the 49ers during their run at 5 Super Bowl titles. Sean will even humbly admit that he got a lot of the opportunities he did because of his grandfather.
I've gotten the opportunities that I've gotten if it wasn't for the legacy that he's built. You know, you get a chance to finish up playing in college and get right on with the Buccaneers, working under John Gruden because of the relationship that my grandfather and Jim Gruden Sr. had. And, you know, all those different things you look back on and you just realize how blessed you are. And without my grandfather, there's no way I'd be in these positions.
But that only got him the interview, not the actual job itself. McVay is a football savant, being known to have a photographic memory.
Week 5, going way back now. You're at home against the Seahawks. 56 seconds left, third quarter. Rams got the ball, 3rd and 20, Seattle's 25. Remember what happened?
3rd and 20 on Seattle's 25. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we called a screen and it got picked.
Yeah, it did. Sheldon Richardson.
Yep.
Bucks at Skins.
Yep.
2nd and 7 on the Tampa Bay 24. 58 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Jamison Crowder wheel route down the right sideline.
Being a savant started early for Sean. He made a name for himself despite having a legendary grandpa, leading his team to win the state championship his senior year in high school. He even beat out soon-to-be Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson for the Georgia Player of the Year in 2003. In a podcast with Sports Illustrated, McVay laughs at this now, knowing Johnson was a much better prospect, but McVay still amassed 2,500 rushing yards and 2,600 passing yards in his career. After high school, Sean took a full ride to the Miami of Ohio, where injuries plagued much of his time there. It was not until right after Sean graduated at age 22, John Gruden gave him the opportunity to get a foot in the door at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise. Getting in the door was largely due to a long line of family favors between the Grudens and McVays. When John McVay was coaching at Dayton in the 1970s, he hired Jim Gruden, John's dad, as an assistant. As time went on, Jim Gruden became an assistant at the University of Indiana and recruited Sean's dad, Tim McVay. And then in the 1990s, John Gruden was able to obtain his first NFL position, and thanks to John McVay, who was the GM at the time. John's position was a much similar position to Sean's, being a special assistant at the 49ers. In Tampa, McVay was listed as a coach's assistant, but was really performing secretarial tasks, running errands for players and coaches, grabbing snacks, doing whatever he could to be useful. The Super Bowl coach spent most of his days listening to orders from coaches, doing the jobs no one else wanted to do. However, being the optimist he is, McVay loved the process, being quoted as saying, "No job was too small or too big for me at this time." McVay said he learned some valuable football experience through this stint, but largely spent most of his time trying to provide value for the team. It was not until the end of that season, when Gruden finished 9-7, that he was fired along with Sean, and the FFCA was developed. The FFCA was an office known to harbor an impressive collection of game films, and game film studies could start as early as 4 a.m. This is where Sean attributes he gained a lot of his knowledge through thorough game film sessions with John, and even special guests like Chip Kelly would come through. That following year, Sean was able to land a job as a quality control receivers coach in the UFL alongside John Gruden's brother, Jay. At the age of 23, Sean found his first official NFL gig at the Washington Redskins, being the assistant tight end coach. It was at Washington where Sean would coach with 2 other young, wide-eyed coaches who would soon rise to the top, being Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan. Sean continued to work his way up in Washington, being promoted the tight end coach in 2011, then at age 27 in 2014, being named the offensive coordinator under prior acquaintance Jay Gruden. On January 12, 2017, at the age of 30, McVay was named head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. Since being the head coach of the Rams, Sean has posted a 35-17 record, making the Super Bowl in only his second year. Although the 2019 season was an underachieving season for the Rams, McVay has proved he is an elite coach in the NFL and will pose as a consistent Super Bowl contender year in and year out.